Hey, Raider Nation. Y'all just bear with us for the next few minutes as we'll be getting ready to be joined by special guest, Louis Riddick of ESPN's Monday Night Football. Phil, how you doing today?
I'm excited. I'm pumped up. This is a great get for us. I've been waiting a long time to get a chance to talk football with Mr. Louis Riddick. We're getting closer to game time. There's a lot on the line here, and this may be another test for the Raiders, but this as their first divisional game, this is also a very big game. Kansas City's already gone down. Denver hasn't played a divisional game yet, so the Raiders could be looking at become with the win here could be the top team, continue to be the top team in the AFC.
No, absolutely. But again, you got a big challenge ahead. You're facing against the Chargers. They're 2-1. I mean, yeah, they're third in the AFC, but they're a tough team. So the Raiders are going to have to be ready for everything. Hopefully they can try to get the running game established like they did later in last week's game and towards the overtime. But Phil,
well, Josh Jacobs is coming back. They like what they're getting out of Peyton Barber, so much so that that I believe it was Greg Olson who said that they were going to be putting him. Well, he said that he liked him in the role that he did and the way that he's grasped the offense. John Gruden said that he wasn't going to hesitate to move Peyton Barber into the primary role because of the success that he had late in the game against the Dolphins.
correct.
And his vision was not an issue. His pass blocking has been solid. And he was delivering the power runs that we kind of haven't seen, to be honest with you. He was getting the tough yardage and moving the pile. And when the back starts moving the pile, people start getting inspired. The line wants to block a little better. The quarterback wants to go back to the run. Balance is restored, and all of a sudden, the offense once again is rolling and scoring points.
No, absolutely. So, and shouldn't we be seeing?
We need a sounder.
Yeah.
We need a sounder. Dun, 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 dun,
dun, dun. Ladies and gentlemen, what we all been waiting for. I give you Louis Riddick. Louis Riddick, good evening, sir. How are you doing tonight?
My man, I'm doing all right. How are y'all doing?
We're doing excellent.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, no question. No problem.
Phil, I'll let you start first, man.
So we're going to jump right into it. I know you're short on time. So, Louis, what are some key injuries that you feel will affect the outcome of this game?
Key injuries. Well, I think really for this game, maybe on the Chargers side, I mean, we're going to see exactly what the status is of a guy like Chris Harris in particular, who plays the very, very important role as the slot corner, and we know just how good Hunter Renfrow is. That's something that could change maybe some of the ways in which they try to defend this offense, since this is, I mean, we know that Vegas has a very dynamic passing game, that runs through the slot receiver. And Chris Harris is one of the best of all time. Not just one of the best in the league, one of the best at all time at playing the nickel corner position. So I think that's probably the one that I'm keeping an eye on the most for them. We'll see what the final injury report looks like for Vegas. We haven't gotten that report just yet. Regardless of who's available and who's not, I think both of these teams, I think all of us know that this game really is going to be decided by the offenses and maybe who has the ball last. That's kind of what makes for great TV anyway. That's what fans seem to like to watch. And with these two quarterbacks, the way they're playing, look, Derek is square in the conversation for the MVP for the MVP award. That's just a fact. And Justin Herbert, I'll tell you what, they love this guy in LA. His teammates love him. Fans love him. His coaching staff loves him. This is as good as an AFC West matchup as we've seen in years, quite honestly. And we're lucky to have it on Monday Night Football.
No, absolutely. You're right. And just looking at how this battle went the last two games last year, it was determined by one score.
Yeah.
And then you have Monday. I'm going to be real. I feel like this could be a game where the Raiders end up dealing with another overtime game.
Yeah, it's a possibility. It's a possibility. Look, I think for them, the test is going to come on the defensive side of the ball. We'll see how Vegas responds to an attack like this that can throw the ball better than any team that they've played so far. I mean, as good as Lamar is in the opener, they don't have the passing attack that the Chargers have. They don't have the weapons on the perimeter, not even close, that the Chargers have. Right? The Chargers have basically like a NBA type roster at the wide receiver position. I mean, these guys are huge. They're fast. They can take the ball off the top of the rim, take the ball off the top of your head, whatever you want to call it. Keenan and Mike Williams can do that, and Jared Cook is one of the fastest tight ends in the NFL. Jalen Guyton can fly too. So they've got some players, man. So this is the test. This is the test that Raider fans should be looking forward to watching. We're going to see if Gus really does have the goods that none of the previous defensive coordinators that John has had there have had. This is the test to see if Max and Yannick are true game closers against a team that has a real good rookie at left tackle, Rashawn Slater, is going to have a guy who right now is an up and down kind of swing tackle, backup type guy at right tackle that's replacing Brian Bulaga. So we're going to see. And you're right. It may come down to the last possession. It may come down to an overtime type situation. The Raiders have already proven they can answer the bell in that kind of situation. And I think the Chargers are much different now. They're not a team that folds in crunch time. I think Brandon Staley has conditioned them to be able to kind of rise to the occasion in crunch time. Like I said, the AFC West is no joke no more, man. I mean, not that it ever was, but you know it was KC dominant. It's not KC dominant anymore. Because I'll tell you what, Denver's for real too. Denver's that defense will shut you out in a minute, win a game 3-0. So this is where we're going to find out if all those reinforcements and all those upgrades that they made on the defensive side of the ball are for real or not.
Now, one thing I like to add with, the reemergence of Casey Hayward, I know he had an off year for the Chargers in this last season, but the way he's emerged as one of the top corners this year and him playing playing with Herbert last year, how much of a help is that going to be for that Raiders defense?
It's always good when you have guys like that who are very familiar with the personnel of the people that they're going up against and can then give the rest of the team, especially the secondary, which is really what's going to decide this game, some clues as to what are the routes that Mike and Keenan like to run? How do they like to beat press? How do they like to beat zone? Are these guys that you can intimidate in the middle of the field, can win in 50-50 jump ball situations? Who do they like to go to in the red area? Who do they like to go to on third down? I mean, that's all important. And on top of it, maybe reading helping to teach some of the nuance that Justin Herbert has in his game and how you can get a good tip on where he's going to go with the football. Does he tip off run pass by, his stance under center when he is under center, although he's in the gun the majority of the time? All those any kind of tip that you can get in a game that's probably going to be decided by 7 points or less is a tip that's a good tip. Now, the thing I will say, though, is this is a new offensive scheme that they're running here in LA as opposed to the one that they had last year. It's been much more pass dominant this year than it was last year under Anthony Lynn. And Justin ain't the same dude as he was a year ago. This guy now looks like a guy who's been playing 4 or 5 years and has got command of this offense in a way that most franchise quarterbacks have the command of an offense. So, look, Vegas is going to have their work cut out for them. And that's a good thing, though. You want to see where you stand at this point. What used to be the quarter point of the season, now with the 17 games, it's a little bit less than that. But you want to find out. You want to find out in the biggest thing. And I'll tell you this, too. If you're going to find out on the road, then why not find out in L.A. where everybody down here is expecting it to be 60, 70% Raider fans. That's going to be crazy. And I remember how that used to be when I played, and we used to go down to San Diego. I remember the first year I walked out there, I was like, what? Why is all this black? I looked around. They were like, it's always like this, dog. It's always like this down here. So that's going to be interesting to watch too.
Raiders South. And on the flip side of that, Lewis, so there's a lot of familiarity with some of the defenders and the coaching staff. But can that be a two-way street and work to Herbert's advantage and some of the offensive linemen and some guys who've practiced against these guys and know their tendencies as well?
No doubt. No doubt about it. Look, they went against this scheme. The offensive players in LA went against the Raiders scheme when Gus was here, day in and day out. You know, we talked to Keenan Allen about that, about how much does that familiarity help you? And he said, of course it helps. We know where the stress points are in this scheme. We know what this scheme takes away and what it can potentially give up. Now the question is, can you exploit it? And can you, still though, what it comes down to is, from a passing game perspective, we know what Vegas really tries to do, in terms of what coverage schemes they like to run. And we know that it's a pretty simple scheme that really relies on execution. But pass rush is pass rush. So can the Chargers front five block the Raiders front four when they rush with four? Can they block Yannick and can they block Max? Because look, Max told us before opening weekend, I'm banking on having the best year of my career for a number of different reasons, my own personal reasons and otherwise. Yannick has always been a good pass rusher, always. And he showed that opening weekend when he gave Villanueva fits. I mean, both of them did. It's just they had the Ravens thinking about, man, do we need to go ahead and get rid of Villanueva or what? What is going on here?
Yeah.
So that's really what it's going to come down to. Yeah, Keenan and them are going to know exactly where to try and hit this, what really stresses this coverage scheme overall. But the question is, can they get to Justin before he can even get to that? And that's what you love about football. That's even being a former defensive back, man, what's most exciting to me is watching the big men go to work. Because when they're working, everything else is easy. It's easy for the people in the back end. And if you're blocking it up on the offensive side and the quarterback has time, it's easy for the wideouts. If you give Justin Herbert all day to run around back there, they have no shot. Okay? Vegas has no shot if they don't put that boy on the ground. If they do, then they have a shot. That's how it goes.
Now, we're talking about Max and we're talking about Yannick, but the one guy we've been seeing that's been causing a lot of interior pressure and getting sacks is Solomon Thomas.
Yeah, he had a good game last week for sure. Yeah, look, that's probably – well, it's not probably. It's the quickest way to really disrupt a quarterback's timing, rhythm, confidence is interior pressure between guard to guard, no doubt. I mean, that's why you can easily make the argument that, at least for me anyway, that a all-pro 3 technique like Aaron Donald is more valuable than an all-pro 9 technique pass rusher, even like Joey Bosa. Okay, because those guys get in the quarterback's face in a hurry, and then everything then can break down out of structure, and then your quarterback is on the run, although Justin's very good at that. So if Solomon can do that, great. Then that's great. But I think we know, though, that and you know what? And even if he's not getting clean, even if he's just pushing the pocket so Justin can't step up and escape north and south, then that obviously means the depth of the pocket is deeper, and that means that Max and Solomon don't have to turn the corner as tight. They can work even deeper in the pocket and still get him. So, yeah, it all goes hand in hand. But you're right, they need to get some push. They have to make Corey Linsley and company and O'Day Boucher the right guard. They need to make those guys set deeper and deeper and deeper. So he needs to play a big game. And you know what? It couldn't happen to a better kid than Solomon Thomas for him to have some success given what he's been through. No question.
Definitely.
Absolutely. So my question is, how has the Raiders offensive line looked to you? They've had a lot of turnover there, and they brought in some guys off the street. And I did some number crunching on them. And what they look like on TV doesn't necessarily reflect where they are in the rest of the league. So what are your thoughts on them?
Yeah, I think this is a game where they need to really, let's put it this way. I'm going to say what they need to do and then what they haven't done. All right. What they need to do is make sure that they're coming off the ball in the run game. And John needs to make sure he gets them going and gets them on track. So then a guy like Joey can't get going on this team from a pass rush perspective. Because if it becomes a one-dimensional game where Derek is dropping back 35, 40 times, and look, it's been a pass-dominant offense already. We know that, and they've been okay. But that's the last thing you want Joey Bosa to be able to do, is to rush the passer without there being any real threat of the run and having to play the run game. All right? But also, let's put it like this. Colton Miller is someone who, look, he's solid. Colton's never going to be a first-team all-pro tackle. If you had to pick between Colton and, maybe even a guy like Rashawn Slater, the rookie first-rounder for L.A., many people would probably take Rashawn because of his upside, right? But Colton is solid. He's solid. John Simpson's going to have to be big, okay? He's the strongest guy on their football team. He's got long arms, a vice grips for hands. He's probably a better run blocker than he is pass protector. But you know what? When you're working in unison, you can cover up for some guard play, especially when you're talking about a team like the Chargers who don't have Aaron Donald. So it's not going to be a situation where he's going to get caught on an island and he's going to have that many problems. Andre James needs to make sure, look, Andre needs to just get the ball snapped back to Derek Carr and not send it over his head. Don't become a liability like that. Just be solid. Just be solid. Again, the defensive line of the Chargers isn't one where it's going to dominate this football team, meaning the Vegas offensive line are causing a lot of problems. Jermaine Illuminor, he's a former college tackle, so he's got good pass pro experience, although things happen a lot faster on the inside. But both him and John Simpson could benefit from this offensive line coming off the ball and establishing the run. And you're going to know John's going to want to do this, John Gruden, because they haven't done it all year long yet. And the Chargers defensive line, if you've watched them, they're 32nd against the run, I believe, in both yards per game and yards per play. It's not good. So they need to get that going. And then, the guy who maybe has the toughest assignment, especially if Joey's going to rush from left defensive end most of the game, is going to be Alex. When Alex's technique is good and his sets are good, he's good. Yeah. When Alex's feet stop and his head drops and his punch is late and his hands are wide, then he's ugly. That's how it goes. Yeah. But that's how it goes for everybody, right? Yeah. And he's going to have to, and they're going to have to help him keep a tight end in, help chip the back's going to have to chip on the way out. Derek's going to have to make sure he gets that ball out of his hand on time, keep an eye on it, because Joey Bosa can wreck your dreams, man, quick. So they're going to have to make sure they take care of that side of the ball.
No, absolutely. Now, there's been one thing that a lot of fans in Raider Nation have been asking about, and I want to just go on and direct it to you. So, Moreg, him being a rookie safety back there, and though it's been real quiet. Mm-hmm. Now, you being a former DB and being in that back end of the defense, what are some things would you suggest for him on Monday night going up against this receiving core?
First, I would say this. Run after the catch is a big part of the Chargers game because these guys are big. It's like tackling tight ends who run 4.4, 4.5. I mean, you've seen Mike Williams.
Yeah.
Mike Williams looks like Megatron out there. That's how big he is. He looks like Brandon Marshall. And Keenan's the same way, not quite as big, but these guys are very good after the catch. So the first thing I would say is make sure you don't miss any tackles. Make sure that you're bringing your pads, you're wrapping up, seeing what you hit, because these guys they'll just get all that hidden yardage that by the end of the game adds up to explosive plays that usually lead to losses. Make sure that the communication is good with this football team too, because I'll tell you, communication and good eyes. Actually, it comes with communication first and then playing with good eyes, because what this team does, what the Chargers do, is they run a lot of RPOs. Justin is real good with looking people off and getting you to lean or declare and then just taking what the defense gives them. So tackle well, communicate well, play with good eyes, play with depth, and make sure you understand what the route distribution looks like, and don't have Justin playing with your head, getting you to move where he wants you to because he's just trying to open up a throwing window. So it's going to be, as much as it's going to be a physical game, it's going to be a thinking man's game. And that's what it always is, really. I mean, it always comes down to that, but in this game in particular, it's going to be very physical because of the size of these receivers. And it's going to be a thinking man's thing because of all the different things that they do. Remember, this is the New Orleans Saints offense, because that's where Joe Lombardi comes from, the offensive coordinator, with a RPO and a deep ball game factored into it. So all the things Drew used to do, plus running RPOs and chucking the deep ball. That's a lot to think about.
Now, the question is, are we going to see that New Orleans style offense, or are we going to see the offense that we saw back when he was running in Detroit with Matthew Stafford?
No, you'll see, you know what? Because of Justin Herbert, you're going to see a little bit of everything. You'll see the quick passing game, right? You'll see empty, you'll see quick passing game. You'll see utilization of backs out of the backfield, whether it be, second and long screens, quick swing passes to Eckler, get him out on the perimeter and let him work. You'll see the quick passing game, lots of slants and hitches, working over the middle of the field where you can catch and run. Then you're also going to see the deep shots because Mike Williams is as good as there is at running down the field and just jumping over your head and taking the ball. You're going to see a little bit of the boot game because this is a guy who's big and athletic and can get out on the perimeter and either throw it or run it. So you better – that's why I'm saying this is a thinking man's game, because you're going to see a little bit of everything, and it's going to challenge your discipline. And as a young safety, if you're trying to think – if you don't have what I like to call – if you don't have a good sequence once the snap starts, meaning I know – ball snap, where are my eyes going? What am I looking at? So I know, one, is it run or pass, and two, where are they trying to hit me? If you don't have a good understanding of that, you'll be chasing everything. Ball be thrown over your head.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, you wind up with an L. That's why I say this is a thinking man's game, because this offense is very, very multiple.
No, you're absolutely right. And pretty much to kind of end this, if Josh Jacobs plays in Monday night's game, would that be the game changer where the Raiders could have the edge over the Chargers?
Absolutely, it could be, because if the offensive line can get some movement at the point of attack like every other team has been able to do to the Chargers. Okay, Kansas City was able to do it. Dallas was able to do it. Washington was able to do it. If they can do that, Josh is going to hit it up in there, and Josh is going to make big runs. And if they do that, what does that do for the passing game? Well, now it has the defense thinking about two things. Josh Jacobs is running the ball down our throat, and Derek is just cutting us up, throwing the ball over top of our head with Henry, or Darren, or killing us with Hunter Renfrow, or Brian Edwards. So the more multiple you can be, the better. I mean, we just saw it last week on Monday night with the Dallas and Philadelphia. Philly had no shot. You know why? Because Zeke was running it down their throat, and then when they said, well, we'll try and stop him, then they went to CD and Amari.
Yeah.
That's what you want, right? I mean, that's what you want. So if Josh can get going, that'll make this offense is already on pace to where I think I read a stat just the other day where this could be the first 8,000-yard offense in the season with the pace that they're on right now in the history of the league. And that's without them running the ball. That's without a good running game. So think of what if Josh Jacobs can get going, what that means for Derek Carr and Darren Waller and everyone else.
Yeah, that's mind-blowing.
Real quick, last couple. What is something you feel is going to be a factor that's getting overlooked? And real quick, Oregon loses to Stanford in overtime, bro. What are your thoughts on that?
Something that's being overlooked. I think it's just that what we just talked about. I think it's what's being overlooked is both of these teams throw the ball all over the place. I think it's the ability of Vegas's running backs to be an explosive group overall, because between Josh and Kenyon, and even you see how Peyton's been running the ball. You see how Peyton Barber can run that ball. Yeah. Those three right there, I'll take that. I think that's what's being overlooked, because this is about the Derek Carr and Justin Herbert show. That's all we keep talking about. Derek Carr, Justin Herbert. Derek Carr, Justin Herbert. But yeah, we're watching too to see if Josh plays, because that tilts things a little bit, I believe, in Vegas's favor for sure. As far as Oregon losing to Stanford, we were down at the Chargers complex while that was happening. But yeah, man, that's how college football's crazy this year, man.
Right.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden, Clemson ain't even in the national title picture.
Woo, right?
But you see who is, though. You see, Bama just keeps on. What they're doing in Alabama is stupid, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's a machine down there.
Yeah, and it never stops.
Nope.
It just keeps right on rolling.
That's exactly. So, yeah, man, I missed my college ball today, man. Usually on Saturdays, I try to watch as much as possible as we fit it in around the production meetings. But today, we spent a lot of time with the Charger coaches, and tomorrow we'll talk with Vegas. I almost said Oakland.
It's habit, man.
I know.
It's all right.
Charger coaches tell you anything interesting?
Yeah, I can't tell you nothing, no.
I had to try.
I'll tell you what. They're excited, man, because they know this is a big test for them, too. All right? It's a big test for them, and they know that this game has a lot of significance just because the West is balanced out right now. It looks like it, and that's what you want in the division. You don't want one team just running away with it all the time. So this is big for us, man. We're as a crew, we're fired up. We got in the stadium last year, and there was nobody there, and you could hear a pin drop in this place. It's so big, and it had nobody there. Now it's just a who's who. It's like going to the Forum back in the day, going to Staples Center. There will be all kinds of stars here on Monday night, like it has been every Sunday that they played there.
Cause I know that Monday night you were there, we were there as well, and it was just straight fire. It was just jam packed. It was like you were in a Michael Bay movie watching football all the way down to overtime.
Yeah, man. The NFL just keeps on winning. It's amazing how every year, there's always that group of trolls who think, well, you know what, the NFL ain't doing it right. Their viewership's gonna start suffering. I'm not watching football anymore. Blah, blah. And every year when them ratings come out, it's like, biggest audience ever for this, biggest audience ever for that.
Yep.
This country loves American football.
Facts.
Simple as that. And it's always going to. It's the great uniter in this country. Yes. It's where everybody goes. It's just the game in this country. And it's good to be a part of it. And any way that we can be a part of it, it's good to be a part of it.
Yep. It's those little things within this game that matters the most.
Yeah.
Especially, I know you remember them Friday night football games.
Oh, come on now. High school football for me.
Whew.
But I've been out of high school what seems like forever. And I tell my wife all the time, high schoal football, smelling the concession stands, hearing the band play, seeing your boys walking around, on the outskirts of the stadium. What was better than that? Seriously.
Nope.
Than that, man. I still go to high school. I still go to high school football games back east. I'll just go to a random high school football game and just watch it. I don't get too much anymore because, we travel and we're usually on the road for Monday night. But before that, you'd see me sitting they'd be like, hey, Ben, you know anybody on these teams? Nope. I'm just sitting here having something to eat and watching the game. Love high school football.
Man, they would have been the best. And I just think about like certain areas, because I know you from the PA area. Yeah. And I know the Delaware area of like where my father was born at. Man, they used to shut everything down on Friday nights. Everybody over in Milford. Yeah,
in Western PA, that's where you have, Marino, Montana, Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly, all those people are from that area, man. And the Big 33 high school football classic is huge. You have the All-Stars from Pennsylvania play. Yeah. They played California, Texas, Florida. My year we played Maryland. It's a big deal, man. It's a big deal. So it's look, all levels. I don't care what level of football it is. Pop Warner, flag, powder puff, college. I'm watching it. I watch every game of football I possibly can, man. And like I said, though, at the NFL, the NFL is where it's at for me because it's so specialized and these guys are so big and so fast and skilled now. I tell everybody this. If you don't respect NFL football, you know what you need to do? You need to go watch an NFL game and be able to watch it down on the sideline.
Yeah.
And just see how fast these dudes are moving and how hard they're hitting. You'll respect it then. That's for sure.
And I've said the same thing before. Like back in 2018, I was covering Washington, and man,
it's a different game, man. It's a different game, but that's why we all love it, and that's why it ain't going nowhere, and that's why Monday night, you better have your rear end at SoFi. I can tell you that it's gonna be. And then thinking of SoFi, think about SoFi at the Super Bowl this year with that halftime show. How about that?
Man,
how about that halftime?
In LA, too.
Yeah.
Dre, Snoop, in LA.
Kendrick, man.
I almost want to fast forward the game just to see the halftime show.
I think one of them writers, I think it might have been Mike Freeman, said, man, they're gonna have to put that on like 30-second tape delay with all the more. Hey, I mean, how are they gonna edit all their songs, man? You know what I mean?
Hey,
I don't care though. They can say all of it.
All of it. Just let it ride.
Yeah, that's
actually a song. They can do that one too. Let me ride.
That halftime show might surpass Prince's halftime show. That might be which is considered the best of all time.
It was too, but that's up there though.
Yeah,
that's something to think about.
You know, LA's going crazy Super Bowl week. Come on. Yeah.
No, but definitely. And man, hey. All I can say is this, man. I'm grateful that you were able to join us tonight and just sit here and talk football. We can talk football for hours nonstop.
Hey, you know what? My wife will tell you, I'll go nonstop talking about football now. Are you kidding me? We just talk about anything. It doesn't matter what level of football you want to talk about. Let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about the game. Because look, I think all of us, myself included, like my life has been football. I don't know what I would be doing without football. I wouldn't be able to have done for my family what I've done if it weren't for football. I had 3 relatives who played professional before me. All right. So as a kid, from the time I was in 6th grade, you have career day in school and people ask you what you want to be when you grow up. You know, doctor, policeman. I was like, man, I'm playing ball. You know, teachers give the typical response. You got to be more realistic than that.
Right.
We mean something more realistic. That's what so this has been my whole life in the truest sense of the word, just like many people. And we love the game. And I'm not just talking about the money and the things that it does for you in that regard. I'm just talking about the game itself, being on a team, being around the guys, being at a stadium, especially like an NFL stadium or a college stadium, where when the teams come out of the tunnel and you hear the crowd, there is the sound of a crowd, one of the most beautiful sounds you hear. When you hear that rise, that as it gets louder, that gives me goosebumps every time, man.
I just got them right now.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, my wife asks me all the time. She said, what do you miss the most about playing? I said, really? When you run out of the tunnel and you can see the people, hanging over the side of the tunnel. And then when you come out, you hear that loud, that roar when they come out, or you make a big play and you can't hear anything and your boys are just slapping you upside the head and you're just looking up in the crowd and you just see people screaming, veins popping out of their forehead, yelling. You know, I'm like, you can't, when the cheering stops like that, that's the thing you miss the most. And that's what I love about the fact that fans are back. Because standing up in the booth and hearing them too, that's why a lot of times after a big play, you won't hear us say a word because we're just listening to the crowd. Because it's the most beautiful sound in sports, a full stadium of people losing their damn mind over their team doing something good.
No,
that's what it's all about.
Facts.
Yes, sir.
That is facts right there.
So,
man, you may have me like a flashback right there, man.
Go grab the helmet, lace them up, find the ball.
What I'm saying. That's it. Let's just get to this game Monday and see what happens, man. Because I tell you, if Vegas can pull this off, Look, that's huge. That's huge momentum for them. And if the Chargers can pull it off, that's huge for them because Brandon Staley, their head coach, is a superstar. There's no question about that. He's as smart as they come. You know, John Gruden was the original Sean McVay. John Gruden was the original prodigy.
Right.
Okay, and that's one of the. It's funny, man, because people forget that about him. When he got hired in Oakland the first time, when I was there, he was the guy. He was Sean McVay before Brandon Staley.
Right.
So he's got a lot of pride. He's a smart coach that has groomed a lot of these guys right now who are considered the young guns of the NFL. And he's got a quarterback right now that's playing out of his mind, and he may have a defense that's up to the challenge. That's what we're waiting to see in 48 hours. So let's see what happens.
All right now. All right. I love it.
All right, man.
Well, hey, Lewis, I appreciate you tuning in and joining us and sharing your football knowledge with everybody in this fan base. And as always, we're going to hear your voice on Monday night. We're going to be tuned in, hyped up.
Yeah, man. Just hit me back afterwards. I'll come back on and talk to y'all.
Definitely. Hey, man, give us a follow on Twitter.
Please.
We'll do.
Phil Jones NFL and Phil Robinson III.
I got you, brother. I got you. I'll take care of it.
All right, now. You take care. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you, Lewis.
All right. You bet.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen,
Lewis Riddick.
Man, hey, that was, bro, I'm telling you, man, that was great. That was.
Listen, bro, I'm buzzing right now. I'm ready to go out and play. You know,
hold up, man. Look, I'm about to be like Stu. Hey, look, I'm about to be like Stu the other night.
Oh yeah.
Hey,
go grab the helmet and put it on.
Hey, bro, I got my revolutionary helmet still upstairs. I'm about to get I got the shield. Look, I'm about to get the shoulder. I still got my shoulder pads too.
Does it have the visor on it?
Yeah, look.
Good. And I won't have to look at you no more.
Oh, hey, look, I'm just saying, man. You know, I used to play center. If they need me to be the emergency center coming for Andre James, I got it.
Phil has got it for you. I mean, you know, he can get out there, he can hold it down. Communication is key. Like you heard it from Lewis Riddick, we got it covered. But when you talk about the game like that and you put it like that, this is a big game. There are some legit AFC implications with this. The Raiders could continue to be first in the AFC as a whole and really, really go a long way to putting some distance in between themselves and the rest of the division. Or they could give that boost to the Chargers. I was so ready to call them San Diego because that's all man. But it's gonna be crazy to say the least. I know a whole bunch of people that are already on their way down there, a whole bunch of people that are going to the game. Currently that won't be me, but it is something that Monday can't get here fast enough for me, Phil.
No, definitely. You know, like I wanted to go, but hey, look, I'm a coach. There's one team.
I'll drive. But
I gotta coach these kids, man.
I don't. But
look, hey, they need me, so I gotta coach them. So I'm gonna be there Monday to get them ready for this season. I'm trying to go for my 7th championship. I'm trying to go the Tom Brady route.
7 championships.
Hey, look, I got 6 championship. I just need that one. Just that one where I can have 7.
You need 2 so that you could tell Tom Brady, just kiss him all.
I'm tied with him right now, bro. So, you know, whoo. I'm just sitting there eating my avocado ice cream. But no, hey, real talk. I'm going to say this from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate each and every one of you guys that tune in every time we do a show. I know y'all see me tag a handful of you guys. I'm blowing up, hitting the post left and right. And I know y'all like, Jesus Christ, what the hell you hit me up with now? What the hell am I tagged in? I keep having my phone going. What the hell is this? Look, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate every time you guys tune in. Phil, he appreciates you. I appreciate you. And when we try to get top of the line guests, like we had Graphic on the show. That's a man. That's a man of the people right there.
Graphic had great man. I haven't even talked to him, but he told me he'd pull up when I called. So look for him on Tuesday.
And then the other thing is, you also gotta have we didn't have Wayne on the show, a Hall of Famer. He's in the Fan Hall of Fame in Canton.
Louis Riddick. You know, we're out here trying to do big things for the people. We're trying to expand, get this thing going. We need all the subscriptions to the YouTube page, The Unfiltered Truth, so that we can continue to bring better and better content to each and every one of you, so that you'll know that you could always turn to us to get the truth. You could always turn to us to get in-depth Raider knowledge. You could always turn to us to even get a little bit of trash talking. You can get it all right here, unfiltered, raw, and uncut, straight to you.
Absolutely, man. And like I said, if you want the best, we're going to give you the best, no matter what. But, Phil, this was great.
I've been waiting all week since you told me for this.
Hey, look, it was like, look, the night we had Graphic on, I was like, I got a little surprise coming.
Just a small one. Nothing too serious.
Buckle up your seatbelt. I was like, hold on, what you got? What you got? I'm about to say, look, I saved a bunch of money on my car insurance switching to Geico.
I wish you would have. You got cussed out on somebody else's show.
But this was something that I was looking to pull through for everybody. This was something that I wanted you guys to have a chance to like listen to somebody close up on this show that has that in-depth knowledge of the game, and something that, you know, we've been always screaming about our defense, and then on the back end of the defense. And that's been one of the guys that's played the game at that spot. And also being a Raider, that means a lot to us. You know, it means a lot to this fan base and the fans of this show and Phil and me. So we did it for y'all.
Ain't gonna keep doing it. We just getting started. Just scratching the surface. Ain't even close to done. Not even close. So, like I said earlier, I'll say it again. Like the show. Give me a thumbs up. Wipe them feet.
Yep.
Subscribe. And catch us next time.
Yep. Hey, Facebook groups, hit the like button. Share it if you can. Like it. Share it. Let everybody know. We appreciate each and every one of you guys. Hey, that's the end of the show. Hopefully I can try to get something started, because I get done with practice at like 8:15 on the dot. So I'm going to be rushing back home, and then the game's on. Luckily, I'm only like 5 minutes away. But definitely, if you're on Twitter, I will have a space. I have a space going before the game starts, and I have it for halftime, and I have it for at the end of the game. So if I can't get a show going, I have a spaces running for you guys. You guys can jump in, you can chat, drop your knowledge. I'll drop my knowledge as always. Phil's gonna jump in, give his 2-bit cents.
2-bit cents.
But other than that, hey, as always, subscribe to the Unfiltered Truth. If you missed tonight's show, you can recap it on our YouTube page. It's going to be up on Spotify for you guys to listen. Follow Phil Robinson on Twitter at Phil Robinson III, The Unfiltered Truth, at The Unfiltered Truth. And as always, follow me, Phil Jones, NFL, on the Twitter. So you guys, take care. God bless. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have some tequila for me. We out. Take care, and God bless.